Hey guys, it's Kat here, and in this video I'm going to go in and do a quick Canva tutorial. So canva.com is a site where you can actually create your own designs and you can start a free profile. So just go to canva.com and start up a free profile, and then pretty much here, as you can see, I'm kind of obsessed with making images. So in here what you can do is you can actually create a design, and they already have dimensions put in here for different kinds of posts. So for example, like most popular are here, social media like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, they're already sized for you. Documents, blogging, ebooks, ebook covers, things like that, and marketing materials, social media headers, even like Facebook cover, Facebook ad covers, things like that, right? So that's all here. You can use these, but if you need to also do a custom dimension, you can just click on custom dimensions here and you just put in the size you want. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Facebook post. And then what happens is that it's going to go in here. And now you have a few options. So pretty much you can do a search. There's different layouts. There's elements, text, background, and uploads. So on layouts here on the left, there's some layouts where, so when you hover, you see that there's like a pop-up. So this one has a $, which means that it's paid. Pretty much anytime there's a $, it's $1, and it kind of all adds up if you do the paid kind of options here. But there's ones that are free and it'll say free. So this one, for example, is free, 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 and you can pretty much choose it. So for example, if I was to choose, let's say this one, so I click it and then it populates here, and then as you can see, the box is actually a goal, and so you can actually edit. So you can edit the text, right? You can change the size, you can change the font, you can change the color, and you can arrange it as well if you need to move anything forward and back. You can play with the transparency, for example, so you can see the transparency change. And if you're working on multiple images, you can also click here, copy this page, you can click that and it duplicates another one below it for you. So and then if you just want to delete it, you can click the whole thing and you can click on this trash. Yeah, so you can delete stuff here. Let me click the whole thing. So get used to clicking. Or you can go up here and you can click undo. So I'm going to undo. So now it's blank again. And another thing too is I recommend to click on file and save, so that you can save it in case anything happens. And so what you can do from here is that, so you can choose these pre-made templates, and then you can just go in and modify them and edit them. And but usually what I do is that I'll go to uploads and I'll use my own photos. So I'll upload a photo, for example, like this one. I choose it and then it drops in here, and then what I do is that I size it according to the box. And you can expand it to fit the box. And it's cool because it also helps you to center it, right? And then what you can do is you can add text. So I added text. Hello, Freedom Vibers. And then I select all of the text and I can change things around here. I can change the fonts and choose different fonts, right? And then I can increase the size. I can play around with the font colors. And then again, it helps me to, it shows me when it's centered in the middle. There you go. But you can change it if it can't read it. Probably make it smaller. So you can do that, and then you can keep adding text. And another thing you can do is there's other options here where you can choose preset texts and backgrounds. So for example, I could for example choose one of these circle ones, like this one. So I can choose the circle one, and then let's say I want to overlay the text that I just put. I can click on the text in the middle here, I'll delete it, and then I'll click on this again, and up here on arrange, I'll click arrange, I'll click back. And then I can pretty much put this in the middle so you can see it better. And then also if I click on the circle, you'll have an option here to change the color. So I can change the background of the color, and then you can just play around with it. So I can make the circle smaller, and then again it helps me to center it, right? And then here I could, for example, do that. Right, so now it's centered. And then if I want to, there's other ones here that you can do the same thing. You can overlay, and then you just click forward or back to get the text over it. And then you can choose different sizes of text. So let's say I want to put this at the bottom of the image. If you want to brand the image. So I'll choose a different font. I'll choose a color. Maybe increase the size, and then I'll just drop it at the bottom here. So there's an image. And then what you would do is you click on download, and you can choose the kind you want, so standard print, PNG or JPEG. So usually I just do PNG. Then you can click download, and then it starts to download. And it downloads directly to my computer. There it is. And so now another cool thing you can do, so I'm going to go back to, so I can close this, because what it does is it saves your designs when you go back into logging into Canva. So this is the one I just made. It's just generating the preview. Let's say I want to make something different. Let's say I want to do an Instagram post. I'll choose Instagram. And let's say I want to do grids and stuff like that to add elements into it. So the elements here, you can click on elements, right? And then you can choose. So there's frames, there's illustrations, there's shapes, right? So you can drop all this stuff in there. If you want to do grids, so the grids thing is pretty cool. So click on grids, and then you can choose whichever layout you want. So for example, let's say I choose a little bit more complex one. Let's say I choose this one. So you just click it, it populates it here for you. And then let's say I want to use my own photos, I click on uploads, and then literally what I can do is I choose the photo and I just drag it and drop it into the box I want to drop it in. If I want to move the photo, I can double click the photo, and now I can actually move it around. So I'll move it around and I click the checkbox. Right? And then if I want to change the filter, I can do that up here. So let's say I choose edge. You can change the intensity, and you can choose different filters here. So I have one photo. I can add, let's say I want to add this photo here, but then I'm like, nah, I don't like the way that looks, so I deleted it. Let's say I want to add this boat. And I want to move it, so I'll double click it. I'll just move it around a little bit. Click check mark, click filter, and I'll choose edge. So it changes the filter here. Then let's say I want to do a sunset photo. I'll drop the sunset photo here. I'll change my filter so it's all kind of the same filter on all the photos. And then let's say I want to choose this one of Romeo and I. Oh, it didn't drop. So you just have to make sure that it actually selects the, yeah. I'll double click it so I can move the photo. Click check mark, choose a filter, click edge. No, it doesn't look that good. Cali. I'll just choose normal. And then maybe this one is a nice one to put in the middle. And I'll choose a different filter. I'll do the edge one. So now let's say, okay, so it looks like that. Now let's say I want to play around and add some text and do some fun stuff with it. So I'll click text, and then what I can do is I can choose one of these. So let's say I want to choose this orange one. So it drops it in the middle here. And then the thing is, when you change the size of this, the text changes with it. So you can do that. So let's say I want to center it in the middle here. Let's make it bigger. So see, it sized it weird. So I'm going to choose all the text. I'll make it smaller. So there you go, it centered it. Now if I click on the background part, I can change the background color, this orange. So let's say I do like a blue or a purple. So there you go. And it's centered, and then I can add a little text at the bottom. Let's say I want to add freedom vibes, and I'll just drop it here. You can't really see it. I'll just make it white. There you go. I don't like the font. So literally, I mean, it doesn't take long. Once you start playing around with it, then you'll get used to using it. And there you go. It actually turned out like a nice photo, and I could actually plaster this everywhere. So I'll click File, Save, and then I'll click Download. And the profile you start, because this is on my laptop, I can also log in through my iPad and I can access the same design, so I can just download it there as well. And this is pretty much how I make my images, all of them. Canva is my go-to place. It doesn't take long, especially once you get used to using it. You can make a really cool image in under a few minutes. Although I've been known to be on here for longer. So there you go. Other elements if you want to add, and also if you want to download any like kind of non-attribution images, like if you want to add in like a little Facebook icon, right? You can just drop that on the bottom here, so people click like. There you go. So people hit like, or maybe a little Instagram image, right? So I'll just delete that. And then other elements in here, if you want to add shapes, if you want to add illustrations, right? All of this stuff, and you can change the background colors on all of this. You can overlay, you can create borders, right? So let's look at frames. So you can add drop a photo in here. Obviously this is not going to look good right now, but what would happen is, let's get this photo. So it would look like that, which is pretty cool. You just can't see it. You just deleted it. And that's pretty much it. So you guys can play around with this. Canva is super cool, especially as a productivity tool, because if you do design your own stuff, you don't have to be some pro designer. You can just go into Canva and start using it, and you can make pretty cool images and stuff for any post. You don't even have to know the sizing necessarily, because they have pretty much everything covered in here. And then if you need to, you can just Google a custom dimension for whatever you need if it's something different. And that's about it. So just click download, and you can also create a little share button with other people if you want to connect. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this Canva training, and see you guys in the Freedom Vibes group.